Lads, I'm about to show you 6 money rules every single man in their 20s absolutely needs to know. 2 of these rules actually contradict each other, so it's very important that you watch to the end to understand why. If you're new to the channel, my friends, hello, my name is Vic. I help ambitious men get smarter with money. Let's get straight in with the first rule and the first video that I found that I think is very important for you guys to know. Please subscribe and share.
So if you actually want to be rich, I can tell you how to get rich. Like, that's actually not that hard. If your whole reason for living is to become rich, you will become rich. You have to sacrifice everything. I don't drink alcohol. Like, Tucker Carlson doesn't drink alcohol. Donald Trump doesn't drink alcohol. Like, I traveled 3,000 days over a decade. I'm a million miler at American, Delta, United. I'm in all 50 states multiple times. Like, it's thankless, gritty work.
So first rule, my friends, if you want to be rich, you have to sacrifice like a man who actually wants to be rich. We sacrifice now and get the reward. And most of the time, the reward is substantially later on. So we're going to delay gratification as much as possible. It's going to be super painful, but as long as we know we're progressing, it doesn't matter because it's worth it. Even if you don't get the level of success that you want, you will still learn something from the experiences that you encounter to take it over to the next experience. All you have to remember, my friend, for this rule is that the price of wealth and being rich is paid up front, whereas the price of regret is paid later on. Because if you're not willing to give something up, then you don't really want to achieve your goal. And I've had to constantly reassess to understand that actually I do want this goal, but I'm not doing the sacrifice, and you can't have them both. One will have to give. Because if the opposing thing of your goal is not the thing that you give up, then the thing that you sacrifice is the goal. Because ambition without discipline is just a dream, it's just a fantasy. We all have to choose our type of hard. Not achieving your goal will be hard and have its own challenges. Achieving your goal will be hard and also have its own challenges. So you have to actually choose which type of hard you want. Either way, it's going to be hard. So you may as well choose the type of hard that will actually get you to achieve your goal. Even growing in myself as a creator and in business, even just with making this YouTube channel, my friend, I can tell that the part of actually getting rich, in my opinion, is not actually the difficult part, but it's the discipline and consistency to constantly be working every single day, even without seeing the monetary results that you really want to see. Discipline is the down payment on wealth and building your financial mindset. This is an essential rule, but this next one is equally as important.
I've told students, if when they got out of school, they got a punch card with 20 punches on it, and that's all the investment decisions they got to make in their entire life, they would get very rich because they would think very hard about each one. And you don't need 20 right decisions to get very rich. 4 or 5 will probably do it over time.
If you know who that is in the video, my friends, make sure to leave this video a like, because that means you are awesome. Because for some reason, not many people know who that is. And maybe that's part of the problem. For those of you who don't know, that's Warren Buffett. He's the world's best investor and is absolutely exceptional in investing. But he brings forward rule 2. And that is that you don't need more decisions. You need better decisions, especially when it comes to long-term investing and building your wealth. Because a man who really truly thinks deeply about one investment will outperform 1,000 men who act desperately. And that one man who makes just one intelligent investing decision will beat 1,000 emotional ones. And it goes down to one of the most important things, I think, when it comes to investing, which is that a lot of people struggle with patience. And in my opinion, they need to realize this, at least for me, at least has always worked for me, and from my experiences has taught me a lot about investing over the last few years, is that you truly don't need more options. You just really need more patience. And building that patient muscle, that's super important if you're ever going to want to achieve any substantial form of long-term wealth. In my own opinion, this is with everything though. Whether that's building a business, investing, your career and job, it doesn't matter. Because from my mentors, I understand that you don't actually win by doing more, but you win by doing less, but with more intention. So again, remember that one, my friends. Rule 2, focus on quality decisions, not quantity of decisions. Let me know down in the comments below what you think of this video so far. If you enjoy it, please make sure to comment so I know that you do like it. And any feedback you have on making these videos better, I would greatly appreciate it, my friends. Let's have a look at the next video.
What's the worst financial decision you see 20, 30-year-olds make?
Not setting up a Roth IRA. You could be a millionaire from this. And it's incredibly easy. It's a retirement account. And by the time you're 65, all that profit you make within the account is tax-free. But the goal is that when you're young and doing that, you have 40 years of compound interest, where all of a sudden that $800 you invest could be worth $8,000.
Indirectly, what Graham is saying is that your future wealth depends on what you do today. And my friends, from this rule, please understand this, because I think it's very important. Make sure you listen. Is that inflation punishes the ones who delay investing, whereas compound interest rewards the ones who don't delay and invest. Because time is the asset that all men waste substantially without even noticing it until it's too late. And you may be thinking, mate, what the hell are you talking about? You're not 60, 70 years old. How will you know? And it's a valid question, my friends, but let me tell you this. Because by trade, I work as an oncology nurse, I've seen a lot of men nearing the end of their life wishing that they had more time. And the one thing that I'm confident of, in my own opinion, is that investing literally buys you more time. How much time it will buy you depends on how early on you start. And of course, what you invest in, because everything is speculation and your capital is always at risk. Understand, my friends, that your 20s and 30s literally will determine what your 60s and 70s and onwards will look like, whether they'll be stressful or peaceful. And you currently, in this present moment, will decide that for your future self. So therefore, your future self will either love you or hate you. And if there are any UK viewers watching this, by the way, the equivalent to the Roth IRA is basically the stocks and shares ISA here in the UK. It's a tax wrapper. You've got up to £20,000 tax-free that you can actually put in. You can actually invest it into different low-cost index funds as well, or even just leave your money in there. Personally, I don't do that. I invest, of course, but I'm utilizing more my self-invested personal pension rather than I am my stocks and shares ISA. Feel free to explore the online community I've spent months and months making down in the link below. There's a 7-day free trial and you can cancel anytime, and the prices are absolutely by far the most affordable anywhere I've seen online. And I've done that on purpose because that offer is only available to the first 100 founding members to join. But at this price point anyway, it's basically free. So yeah, link below to check it out. So rule 3, start investing early because your future self will either thank you or hate you, because compound interest rewards the men who start as young as possible. And in rule 4, this will save you a lot of headaches, my friend. So make sure you pay attention.
Here's the most realistic investing advice for your 20s. Don't worry about picking hot stocks. Instead, automate investments into low-cost index funds. Even $200 a month grows into 6 figures over decades. Use a Roth IRA or 401k for the tax benefits, avoid lifestyle inflation, and you don't need a new car just because you got a raise. Spend time building skills that raise your income, because the more you earn, the more you can invest. And remember, time is your biggest asset. The earlier you start, the less you need to save later. Your 20s aren't about being perfect, it's about getting started.
This guy's completely right, because automation fully saves you from your own emotions. And me personally, I've done exactly the same in my retirement portfolio. I've literally chosen 3 different investments, 3 different assets that I'm constantly investing and automating a certain amount every single month that will grow drastically over time. As long as the economy keeps on performing well, of course, which because of inflation and because of more money printing and debt, I don't see how it won't. But as with all investing, my friends, there is always a risk. So you always want to diversify and hedge your investments against each other with different assets. So then if one underperforms, you're hedged by something else. Some people love investing in real estate. Personally, that's not my game. I love investing in the stock market and just investing in general in different markets. But that's my game. That's the one I like to play. Because if you automate your money, you don't need to trust your mood. You don't need to constantly be thinking, should I buy, should I not? It's automatically done. But as with everything, my friend, you really do need to do your research, because if you've invested in bad assets, then obviously they're not going to perform and they're going to become liabilities for you. And it could literally ruin your retirement. So it's very important that you get it right. So rule number 4 is to automate your investments so that your lack of investing doesn't automate you into becoming broke later on.
What is the best wealth advice you've ever heard or received or given?
Find your talent.
What is the worst wealth advice you've ever heard or received?
Follow your passion.
Now listen very closely to this video, my friend, because right here is what I was talking to you about in the beginning of this video, because the next clip will completely contradict this point. But before we get into it, I do believe sometimes passion is just not discovered and a passion is truly built. But I think it's very rare, and I don't think you just wake up out of bed and you're incredibly passionate about something. I think passion is built through sheer determination, hard work, repetition, and feedback loops constantly until you become super good at something, and then you enjoy doing that thing, and then that's your passion because you're so good at it that you enjoy doing it. But anyway, let's go to this clip right now, who I'm pretty sure you know this guy, and look what he has to say in opposition to what this guy said in this clip.
Do something you're very passionate about, and don't try to chase what is kind of the hot passion of the day.
So you tell me, my friends, who in your opinion is right? But I'll leave you with this thought to think about. I'm noticing a lot of men on YouTube and just online in general, they chase a lot of hype. There's nothing really wrong with that. Of course, it's very exciting. However, hype eventually will die no matter what happens. Because my personal ethos is you pick a direction, you commit to it like a man, and you continue and grind onto it and help other people and help as many people as you can along the way. Like I'm trying to help as many ambitious men on this YouTube channel. Because like with investing, my friends, and building up your wealth through the effect of compound interest, so I suppose rules 5 and 6 work in conjunction with the notion that you build skills, you stay committed, and passion will just follow from the results over time. I truly believe it's the exact same concept in business, in health, in relationships, with every single thing in a man's life. Comment down below if you disagree with me, or comment below if you do agree with me and like this video as well, my friends. It did take me a long time to film and to edit this for you, so I'd really appreciate you sharing this with other people who you think may like this video as well, and may find it interesting to watch. YouTube recommends you watch one of these 2 videos over here, my friends. Click one, and I'll see you over there.